Hey, today I'm going to be talking about breakups. I don't have a whole lot of experience in this field, so I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I have dealt with it a little bit, so I just want to share some of what I've learned from my experience and maybe help somebody who's dealing with this right now. It's probably going to hurt, and you need to let it. That may sound stupid, but you can't cover it up. One of the most important things is you have to let yourself feel it and kind of let yourself emotionally bleed out. Initially, you're probably going to be in tears and heartbroken for a few days. And that's okay. That's normal. You don't have to pretend to not be hurting. Maybe you don't want to show your ex that you're hurting, and that's fine. But just let yourself feel it for a little while and accept that yes, you're in pain. And that's okay. It's normal. Second of all, reach out. There are some people who deal with things by keeping everything in, but I'm a strong believer in reaching out. It's really important to surround yourself with friends and family and people who care about you, and just realizing that as alone as you may feel, you're not. And yes, you're gonna feel alone at first. That's normal too. Don't think that you're an idiot because you're surrounded by all these people and yet you still feel alone because you lost somebody that you were really attached to for possibly a really long time. So you're gonna feel empty. And it's okay. It's okay to feel those things. That's really important. But surrounding yourself with people who care about you and people who you love and make you happy is really important. Don't isolate yourself. Just let yourself feel it and reach out and surround yourself. After you've let yourself emotionally bleed and you decide it's time to pick yourself up, that's really important. One thing that I think is really helpful is realizing how much time you have to yourself now that your relationship is over. You're also much more independent and you have an opportunity to just do you. Maybe take up a new hobby, do something that you love, and just kind of move on with your life. In my situation, after my last breakup is when I started losing a lot of weight. Eventually, it became kind of a motivation. I realized this is my life, I have control over it, and I don't know, it just kind of flipped into motivation eventually. It's also really important to keep the future in mind in the sense that there is so much ahead of you. And it sounds really cliched, but your life is not over just because your relationship has ended. If there was a life before that person, there's gonna be a life after that person. You've lived without them before. At least you've lived without being in a relationship with them before. But there is so much ahead of you. You can do whatever you want with your life, honestly. You can go wherever you want. You can go to college and study whatever you want. You can move wherever you want, start over, meet some new people. There is so much to life. There is so much more to life than just one person. There is so much out there. There are so many opportunities. There are so many beautiful things out there. Even in the sense of relationships, it's really important to see the future. When you initially have a breakup, you're probably gonna feel like there is no one on this earth like them. No one's ever gonna be able to replace them. You're never gonna fall in love again. Your heart belonged to them, and there's no hope. And there is gonna be no convincing you otherwise during that painful period. And that's okay. But eventually, you need to realize that you will fall in love again. And there is someone out there who's perfect for you. And again, it sounds cliched, but it's really true. There's just so much out there. There's so many people out there that you haven't met yet, or maybe even somebody you have met that's just perfect for you and you just haven't realized it. I keep repeating it, but there is honestly so much out there. And it's okay to not realize it while you're in pain. but just know it. And you know what? Truth be told, maybe you won't fall in love again. But it's not going to be because you're not over it. Some people aren't meant to be in a relationship. Some people realize they don't want to settle down or be tied down by a relationship. Some people are meant for other things, and that's okay too. It's all a learning experience. Also, realizing how much better you are for getting out of whatever situation it was you were in your relationship that wasn't working is so important. It's important to realize that there's a reason that relationship didn't work out, and it's okay that it didn't, because you can move on to better things. It's really all a learning experience, and it's all a part of life. It's also really important to know that you're not the first person to go through heartbreak. It's all a part of growing up. It happens. It's learning. It's growing up. And it's not just you. You're not alone. That doesn't make your pain any less justified, and you still deserve time to heal, and you deserve to have time to feel it. You deserve everything in its entirety. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Going through breakups, you learn so much about yourself and about your life. And here are some tips on how to help someone who's dealing with a breakup. First of all, don't ever tell somebody they need to get over it. Even if your friend is on month 3 and they're still completely heartbroken, never say the words, "get over it." It's just going to make them push people away more. It's going to make them more upset. It's going to make them feel even more alone. This doesn't mean that you should allow them to throw away their life and dwell on it forever. Just don't say the words. Help them through it in other ways. What I'm saying is use action other than the words to help them get over it. Second of all, be a friend. You might find that your friend is becoming really attached to you right after their breakup. And that's because there's a huge hole in their life right now. And no, it's not healthy for them to try and fill that hole with you, but at least at first they're gonna need you more than ever. So just try to be there for them, but at the same time, don't let them have you fill the hole, if that makes sense. Don't feed completely into them so that they're completely relying on you, because they need to learn how to handle themselves. So be there, but don't feed. Be helpful. 3, listen. Just listen. They're gonna want to rant to you and rant to you, possibly. There are some people who don't like to talk about it at all. But I know me, I'm the kind of person who needs to rant and rant and rant when something's wrong. That's how I deal with things. And sometimes it's a bad thing, but be the person that you would want to be there for you if you were in that situation. So just listen to them while they go on and on and on, because they're hurting and they need you. Honestly, have patience with them. It's so, so important. If you care about them, realize that they're hurting. Try to see it from their point of view. They deserve all the time they need to heal, but at the same time, you need to help pick them up and put them on their feet. But do it kindly and with the best intentions and with their best interests at heart. It's so, so important to be patient. If you're helping somebody through a breakup, remind them of all of these things. That there is so much out there. There's a future, and they can do whatever they want. They can focus on themselves now. They can better themselves. They can immerse themselves in whatever they want. There are so many opportunities. Just remind them of that. They're probably not going to want to hear it at the time, and they deserve all the time they need to heal. But just remind them. I really hope this video was helpful. If you want to talk to me directly, my Twitter is down below. Send me a message. I'm always willing to talk. Even if we don't know each other, let's get to know each other. I'm here. I'm always willing to listen. And I hope that you found this video helpful. Also, I do realize that every situation is different, and these tips aren't going to help everyone in every individual situation, and this is only based on my own experience. So yes, I realize this isn't going to help everybody. There are different breakup situations, there are people who handle things differently. Not everyone's going to benefit from this, but I hope someone does. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience, but I really feel strongly about what I said in this video, and in my case at least, it helped me, and I just think everything that I said is so important to know, and just give yourself time and just flip it. Use it as motivation eventually, but know that everyone's different. You deserve all the time that you need to heal. And it's just so important to remember that there is so much out there. There is a future. There's so many people, so many places, so many things. There's just so much.